My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, PM hits out at false information passed to Ithao case. Child labour becoming a major concern. And FCCC terminates staff.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama says members of opposition should stop spreading lies within the Ithao community. Bainimarama says distorting the facts was becoming a norm for some, which had resulted in false information being spread to Ithao that their land ownership was under threat. Ropate Valeme reports.
The Prime Minister says not 1 inch of Ithao land has been lost under his government.
They claim my government was going to take land away from landowners if they do not renew their leases. But the facts are clear there as well. And our landowners are renewing their leases because they are choosing to do so, because they see the potential in the industry that are working well to realize.
He says the fact is that government has not taken anyone's land by force and they never will.
We are empowering our landowners so they can get the most out of their land and from their land resources.
Meanwhile, Bainimarama distributed $1.5 million of lease security bonus payments to pineland owners, while also opening a brand new $3.6 million water treatment plant in Lotoka.
The relationship between the landowners and the company is safe. The company will not be swayed by someone who is trying to manipulate the company not to pay bonuses for you and your family.
Landowners were happy with the bonus payment.
I'm happy with the bonus I had received today, and I thank the government for the bonus from the pine.
I'm so happy. This is the first time I am here for the bonus payment that was given out today.
This is something good for them to give us money like this. We had taken bonuses from past years. We are happy about this one.
About 200 clans received their fair share of dividend today. The $1.5 million is $700,000 more than the first payout. Ropate Valeme, FBC News.
Child labour is currently on the rise as many children are being sent out into the streets by parents or relatives to earn money. Minister for Women and Children, Meriseni Vuniwanga, says they've noticed an increase of underage children selling goods during or after long school hours. Kelly Vavala reports.
Child labour is often the result of poverty and is a serious issue that deprives young children of their childhood, education, and in many cases is dangerous.
When we see children out on the streets, our officers, the child welfare officers, can actually interview these children and see if there's a need for the state to intervene or not. In most cases, these children have a home. They have parents who are actually sending them out at night into Suva to sell.
Save the Children Fiji CEO Iris Lowe Mackenzie says Fijians should know that child labour is illegal and children have the right to an education.
Families are looking for opportunities to meet their basic necessities. So maybe the parents have lost employment, so they're looking for opportunities of earning income to meet their basic necessities. But what's important to note is that child labor is illegal in Fiji and that we need to go back to the families to find a solution other than them sending children to go and work.
Children end up getting lost or abused, then it turns this episode into something that no parent would ever want upon their children. So it's better to take precautions and just take care of your children. Make sure you're not letting them out into dangerous situations.
Minister for Women and Children Meriseni Vuniwanga says child labour is still common in many parts of the world and the practice is considered exploitive. She says children need to be protected and guided to become successful members of society. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission will not compromise their service delivery. Chief Executive Joel Abraham highlighted this following the termination of an FCCC officer for providing false information. Abraham says the commission exists to protect the interests of the Fijian people and has 62 officers to ensure fair practices in the marketplace. The FCCC urges the public to come forward and lodge complaints if they believe they've been given misleading information by one of their officers.
Our focus is to the people of Fiji, and if we are unable to serve them, and that is just because a few of our officers are not discharging their duties to the letter, then of course that only goes to show that we hold our officers to a very high code of conduct, and what that means is we require them to serve the public to the best of their ability and in a very professional manner. And if it is anything below that, then of course we'll take the necessary steps, because we can't compromise our delivery to all Fijians.
The Land Transport Authority clarifies that the freeze on PSV permits is still in place. LTA Chief Executive Carmen Piantadosi clears the air following numerous inquiries and requests regarding taxi permit applications recently received by LTA. Piantadosi says the freeze is still in place and LTA is unable to process or accept any permit requests. He adds that the authority will further advise the public if amendments will be done on PSV permit freeze.
At this stage, the LTA is not issuing any new taxi permits until the cabinet freeze, or the freeze that was in place or is in place, is lifted by the government, and that's going to occur in the new year. So there's been some proposed changes to be made to PSV permits, and until those changes come into effect, which is in the new year, 2018.
Still to come, Rotary gets water donation. And Auckland traffic a major concern.
Moala rarada ranavika, o tikongona taon no Singapore, ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere.
We are the Rasubuli Kurnabili, Borani Batsukara Hambara Binanga, the Taltakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiven Ngilio says a multidimensional approach is needed to effectively address crime. Ngilio says there has been an increase in sexual offences during the first 6 months of this year, and aggravated robberies and burglaries is another major area of concern. He says they have often sought the assistance of religious organizations, NGOs and civil society because their ability to get to the bottom of why certain crimes are being committed is very limited. According to Ngilio, through the proposed National Crime Board, they will have a platform which will link everyone to enhance cooperation for effective crime prevention.
The main focus for any investigator is to answer the why, what, when and how aspect of a crime. However, for us, the most important question of why, especially with regards to sexual crimes that are being committed by close relatives, is a question that we have barely begun to answer.
The Rotary Pacific Water for Life Foundation has received a donation of $50,000 from the Fiji Water Foundation. The money will be used to expand the organization's program to improve access to safe drinking water and sanitation, mostly for those living in remote rural areas. The organization also aims to increase public health awareness, better infrastructure solutions and skills training to improve the sustainability of rural water systems. Fiji Water Chief Executive Rokoseru Nambalarua says since its inception, Rotary Pacific has provided direct assistance to 45 rural communities and schools. Tau Insurance Fiji Limited has reopened its Lautoka branch last night. The insurance company had an office in the Sugar City but had to close it to open its Nandi branch. Last night it launched its new outlet in Tapu City building. Company General Manager Sarah Jane Weil says the opening comes after development growth in Lautoka in the last few years. With customers in the forefront of their strategy, Weil says there is a lot of demands in the Sugar City. She adds that part of the team in its Nandi office will operate in Lautoka and will look at employment opportunities once it grows.
Actually based in Lautoka a number of years ago, but elected to close and relocate to Nandi when a lot of business was in Nandi. However, we've since Lautoka is now has really grown in the last few years, and we were listening to our customers who were saying you need to be here. We've had some very loyal customers in the time that we've not been here that have stayed with us.
Turning overseas, it seems like traffic congestion is not an issue only for Fiji. Traffic congestion in Auckland, New Zealand is causing the economy $1.3 billion every year. This as travel time for drivers has almost doubled in the last 3 years, putting a handbrake on productivity. Ahead in sports with Jamie, he will have more on boxing, but up next, Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Over 140 to be part of Business Forum. And in growing Fiji, Red Cross gets major vehicle boost. Stay with us.
I'm another Sorokro of Nayabu Wenibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. Leading business tonight. The Fiji Business Forum, organized by the Suva Chamber of Commerce in the industry, will be held in Suva tomorrow. More than 140 businesses have registered to be part of a major gathering of key businesses' minds from across the private and public sectors. The forum will be a platform to discuss ways to improve the country's business environment and also dissect the 2017-2018 national budget. The open forum will be a way to engage public-private partnership to make the country an easier and more attractive place to do business.
We want to also talk about things that may not have been addressed in this budget, so moving forward. So we are very open, and our main idea is, Fiji Chamber idea is to actually contribute towards the growth of the economy, growth of business. That's our key. And wherever there are obstacles, how we can tackle them amicably with government.
Time to join Elizabeth from HFC Bank with the latest from the markets.
Bula Vinaka. The Fijian dollar strengthened by 24 points against the British pound today after the Bank of England's policymakers kept interest rates unchanged at 0.25%. Moving on to our consumer price index for the month of July, it recorded an increase of 0.3% over June and stands at 116.1. Our inflation rate for the 12 months to July stands at 4.4%, a decrease of 0.3% when compared to June. The month-on-comparable month inflation rate for July remained the same as the previous month, which is at 2%. And that is all from me, Vinaka.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Looking at today's exchange rates, the Fijian dollar weakened against the Chinese yuan to close at 3.27, while it strengthened against the American dollar to close at 48 cents. Closer to home, the Australian dollar strengthened, closing at 61 cents, while the New Zealand and PNG Kinas weakened, closing at 64 cents and 136. As for the commodities market, a mixed day today as oil prices were down to close at $48.96 a barrel. Gold closed at $1,269 an ounce, and silver rose to close at $16.66 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, after TC Winston, the Fiji Red Cross Society found itself with a transportation problem in meeting the needs of the national emergency. Today, USA donated 2 new vehicles worth more than $140,000 to the society. Red Cross Director General Felipe Nainola says this will strengthen their reach and service to communities.
Fiji Red Cross spent a significant amount of money hiring rental vehicles and carriers and transport during TC Winston to enable us to reach communities that we would not normally be able to reach with our own vehicles. And so this has strengthened our capacity.
It's a bit of a milestone for Fiji Red Cross after the last over more than a year of work on TC Winston.
And that's a wrap on your business news this week. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, amateur boxers out to impress selectors, and beach volleyball making push for more international exposure. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्क्रीन तक हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
First up in sports tonight, the Namosi rugby side came from behind to defeat Suva 20 points to 18 in the HFC Bank Fairbrother Trophy this evening at Ratu Dakambao Park in Nausori. The capital city side led 15 points to 7 at halftime. Namosi regrouped in the second spell, scoring 2 tries which came from Mosese Voka and a final try from Tueli Tumberi in the final minutes to secure their win. Namosi will defend the trophy next week. And the winner of this weekend's HFC Bank Ratu Josiah Varenge Bain Marama Shield match between Navasai and Rewa will have something more to play for next weekend. Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor says both teams will give the game their best shot, since the winner of tomorrow's match will have a chance to play Fairbrother champions Namosi.
I think the prize for challenging the Fairbrother next week is a big motivator for both teams. I think Rewa will go down with their supporters and hope to beat Nawasa. I think Nawasa has developed into a strong team.
Local amateur boxers will be out to impress national selectors looking for talent at the Fiji Amateur Boxing Tournament at the Raiwai Gym tomorrow. This is all in the build-up to the National Championships in September and the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu in December. Meli Tavanga reports.
Local boxers will have the selectors' eyes firmly fixed on them when the latest edition of competition takes place tomorrow.
We will be taking 8 fighters. Nobody's confirmed yet, so there's still a chance for any fighter to prove himself and to be brought into the training camp. So
the Fiji Amateur Boxing Association says they want to unleash fresh talent for Fiji in the upcoming tournaments.
We're out looking for fighters that we can bring into the actual training camp, which will start in October. So yeah, all of the national coaches will be there, and we hope to find new talents that we haven't seen yet.
However, Fiji's top amateur boxer, Winston Hill, will not be part of the competition tomorrow.
Probably won't be taking part due to a sustained injury in the shoulder and in my back. So I'll be sitting this one out until further treatment.
Around 20 amateur boxers are expected to take part in Rewai tomorrow, with the hope that their boxing attracts the attention of the selectors. Balitavanga, FBC Sports.
The newly elected board of the Fiji Beach Volleyball Association wants to take their team beyond our shores. They feel it's time local players engage in more international competitions. Fiji Beach Volleyball Director Josese Tulele says their current focus is to first expand across the region.
We've been playing in overseas competitions, but not too frequent, and participating in all the events to ensure that we maximize our competition level for our local players. Mostly we just go to SPG and Oceania, but now we are looking at a totally different angle, which is to participate in more events.
All Black player Israel Dag is itching to get his hands on his first Super Rugby title when the Crusaders meet the Lions in the final on Sunday. That's it from sports this evening. Angie joins you later on with weather, and in new media, Apple releases amazing third quarter results. That's coming up.
Bula, kerong may singatoka, kerong do talita ka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasong mo tikola, do talita ka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya ko sila talit, naguraramay na umani, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasawali, nagudurong, barong na Radio Fijuan nandumai viti.
Na Radio Fijuan nandumai viti na honga ni BNN.
In new media, Apple has reported its third quarter 2017 results, and while all eyes were on iPhone sales and other figures, iPad shipments stood out. This is the first time since 2014 that Apple has managed to increase iPad sales year over year on a quarterly basis. Weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Our favorite, most awaited day is here, and it came with a beautiful clear day as well. I can say we were having some good August sunshine. Looking at the west, extremely gorgeous day with no sign of any rain. Eastwards, from Peck Harbour to Suva, we had clear blue skies accompanied with warm temps. And up in Vanua Levu, everything looked so calm and fresh, with of course the sun being a stunner. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, low tide tonight will be at 10:30 with a high tide tomorrow morning at 4:39. The beautiful sunrise will be at 6:34. For tomorrow, I've got some good news for you. And get out on the beach with the beach towels and flip-flops because the sun is on its way again, just in time for a great weekend. Tomorrow's temps, Sabu Sabu will be the coolest at 26 degrees. And looking further on to Sunday, the beautiful sunny weather is expected to continue, which leaves us to enjoy another day of the weekend. And that, Jackie, wraps up our FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked who will win the Super Rugby final between the Crusaders and the Lions on Sunday.
This will win this Super Rugby final because I bet for the Crusaders.
A close game. I'd like to see the Crusaders win, but I think it's against them.
Crusaders will win the Super Rugby this year.
I think it's Crusaders gonna win the Super Rugby.
Recapping the main stories, PM hits out a false information passed to Itau case, child labour becoming a major concern, and FCCC terminates staff. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we are asking, should people who commit infanticide be severely punished? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, sunset captured by Shivi Singh of Nandi while returning from South Sea Island. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fijuan and domoy viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko ndo talita kana Radio Fijuan kina domoy viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gabibina sa vale, nagudurong barong na Radio Fijuan, nandomoy viti.
Na Radio Fijuan nandumai viti na honga ni BNN.